Okay. Erev Tov.
Erev Tere.
Tere. How you say it? Erev Tov, good evening in Estonian? You told me.
Tere õhtust.
Tere õhtust.
Yeah, õhtust is it's
Evening.
Õhtu is evening, yes.
Tere õhtust. Okay.
Yeah. Oh?
Very, very special parasha, as Chaim said, and very so many stories that we need to talk about. So first of all, the story, and as the story goes, we will learn a little bit more. Bnei Israel, the nation of Israel, the grandsons of Yaakov, Bnei Israel going out from Egypt. They're going out. After 3 days, they're coming to the Dead Sea. Paro, hearing that, and he's regretting the situation, and he's running after the Jewish people to I don't know why he's running after them, or to bring them back to Egypt, or I don't know, to finish the job of killing them. Probably he ran out to bring back the Jewish people.
Whatever.
Yes. Okay. Jewish people start seeing the soldiers of Paro running, because they have their wagons, very strong wagons. I think they had 600 wagons. Yes, I think this is the number. And they running after the Jewish people. The Jewish people seeing the water in front of them, the Egyptians behind them, desert to the two sides. They are very nervous. They are very nervous. The situation is looking very bad. Now, they start telling Moshe, why we are here? Why you took us out? Why you took us out? Before they're telling Moshe that, I want to mention something that we will see again, what Rashi is saying something, and how the Rabbi explaining Rashi. It will be nice to see. Rashi, the Torah said, "Vayitzaku el Hashem." They shout to Hashem. They pray with screaming, meaning like they were nervous. They screamed. And Rashi, on those words, saying in Hebrew, Chazru le'omanut avotam. They did the profession of their fathers. To pray, it's the profession of the fathers of the Jewish people. It's something, it's interesting expression of Rashi. The profession of their fathers, meaning we know that our fathers prayed a lot, but what does that mean that this is their profession? This is what... And Rashi giving 3 examples how Abraham pray, Yitzchak pray, and Yaakov pray. And I will not go into the details of the examples, but the 3 examples that Rashi bringing are very interesting. Why? They are not the first time that we find of each father praying. Because on Abraham, for example, we find maybe 10 times that he's praying to God. But Rashi not bringing the first time, he bringing one of the middle times. Not only that, he bringing a place from the Torah that it's hinted that Abraham was praying. It was not clear. Also by Yitzchak is hinted, and also the place that Rashi bring on Yaakov, it's hinted that he was praying. So Rashi bring very interesting example. So the Rebbe asking these two questions. Why Rashi need to tell us this funny expression that the Jewish people prayed, they did they used the profession of their fathers. And the second thing that the Rebbe want to understand is why those examples. And if we will ask a general question is, what Rashi trying to tell us? The Jewish people prayed. Of course they pray. Why you need to explain that they did the profession of their fathers? Oh, 1 second. Elena is here. Hello? Hi?
I thought we start 7:30. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm in the middle of explaining Rashi, and it's good that you here with us again, because I can say it again that everybody will understand that clearly. The Torah talking about the situation, very intense situation. The Jewish people standing in front of the Dead Sea. They start looking back to Egypt, and they see the horses. They start hearing the horses of the Egyptians and all the soldiers running. So they getting nervous. And the Torah said, "Va'itzaku." They start yelling. So Rashi telling us, they did what they did. They did the profession of their fathers. They pray like their fathers. That's what the Jewish people did. And Rashi bringing 3 examples how Abraham prayed, Yitzchak praying, Yaakov praying. And the example that Rashi chooses is very interesting, because the examples are not special. They are not the first time of each father praying. They are not the clearest examples that they were praying. They're just interesting examples. And the Rebbe wants to understand what is the story of that Rashi. What he's trying to tell us. What is the profession of their fathers. Why Rashi using that language? They pray. And the Rebbe explaining something very interesting. The Jewish Rashi had a question. Jewish people, true, they are in very intense situation. They're looking into the water. They're looking back. There is nothing to do. But the Rebbe have a question. Rashi have a question. What do you mean you praying? God told you that you would have miracles. You would see miracles. Everything is going to be okay. What do you want from God? Or if you believe in God, you will have miracle. Because he said, you just 3 nights ago had the greatest plague of the 10th plague. So you know the abilities of God. And Moshe told you that you will have miracles. So what do you want from God now with your prayers? Or you believe in God and you're not, or you're not. What was the nature of that prayer? You're asking for something new. So the Rebbe is saying this was the question of Rashi. What was that prayer? So Rashi explaining, they used the profession of their fathers. Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov did not pray only when they had some fears, only when they were thankful. So they said thank you. as the Jewish people when they're crossing the Red Sea, saying thank you to God with the famous song. So Abraham and Yitzchak and Yaakov did not pray only when they were scared or they were happy. They prayed also because they are Jews. And Jews can talk to God. Why? Because I want to. Not because I have a particular reason that I must tell God thank you or ask for help. A Jew can talk to God because this is his profession. He is good at that. He loves that. He has this type of relationship with God. So the Jewish people, true, they were intense. They saw the Egyptians behind them. So they were in a bad situation, but they believed in God. Because God promised. So Rashi said, they didn't pray because they wanted something new, because they already knew everything. God did not tell them something new after they prayed. They just prayed because they are Jews. And also when Jew believe in God, he can also pray even though he believes that God will take care of him completely. So this is, and this is also, first of all, we understand the expression that Rashi is saying. They used their parents, their father's profession. Why Rashi using this term? To tell us that this is not only thing that we're doing when we must. We feel thankful or we are we want some help from God. Not only then. It's also something that we can do because we want to talk with God. And also Rashi brings examples from Abraham, Yitzchak and Yaakov, specifically from places that they had no reason to pray. They did it because they did it. Because they are Jews and they did it. Okay, this is just to see how the commentaries that saying some things that you think it's very simple, but it's something more. Something more than that. Okay. L'chaim. Okay. After the praying, they getting nervous. They start telling Moshe, okay, what's going on? What's going on? What is the plan? Moshe asking God, and God telling Moshe, take your stick, put it into the water, and the water will split. The Jewish people will enter. We know there is a lot of midrashim on Yetziat Mitzrayim. One of the midrashim is that the water did not split immediately. Jewish people start going into the water. And one of them, as Chaim said, came until here, and then he said, okay, we cannot go more. And then the water was split. And the question that I want to ask you, what do you think? Why he went into the water? Who was that person, by the way? It was Nachshon ben Aminadav. Nachshon ben Aminadav, yes, is the president of tribe Yehuda. Not only that, he was brother-in-law of who? Of Aaron. Aaron was married to his sister. And Nachshon went into the water like Yehuda until he cannot go more. But the question is why he went into the water. I don't know. If you want to die, go into the Egyptians. What is the logic? How he knew that the water is the way? No, the water. I must go into the water and God will help us from there. The answer is very simple. They knew one thing. We're going out from Egypt and we're going to Mount Sinai and God will give us the Torah. So Nachshon, looking up, where is out Mount Sinai? Oh, he's there, behind the water. So he said, God telling us that He will take care of us. I'm going there. There is water in the middle. Okay. So he didn't went because he wanted to die. He went because he have a purpose. He had Mount Sinai in the end. And this is how he knew that we're supposed to go there. This is the direction. And he went there, and then the water was split. Okay. It was not so easy. The word Moshe did it in one night. All night long, there is this strong wind that's splitting the sea. Yes? Where were the Egyptians in that night? Standing behind the Jewish people with cloud between them, and they start how you say in Hebrew you say artilleria, all the fire, yes, all the fire, and the cloud is blocking the fire, and there is a fire, how you say, fire stick. I don't know how to call it. The Torah calling it Amud Ha'anan, Amud Ha'esh. The I don't know, the stick of fire that going in front of the Jewish nation. In the morning, God telling Moshe, go into the water. Moshe is going into the water. One of the Midrash saying that they were 12 splits of the sea. Every tribe went in his place. And after they all inside, they letting the Egyptian to go inside. And after the last Jew is out, the water closing again. In the water, I want to talk a little bit about the situation. The Jewish people start singing, and it was amazing situation. The Jewish people got the revelation of God. Our sages telling us that the most simpler Jew in that time saw more than the highest prophets after, because it's the most biggest thing. It's revelation of God, the powers of God. Okay, and they singing. You ever thought how they were singing? How was it? How everybody knew the words? Who was going there giving everyone the words? Who? How was it, the situation? Anyone? So there is a midrash that telling us three opinions. How was it exactly? The opinions are the idea is the same. Moshe started the singing. One opinion saying that Moshe sang two words and the Jewish people repeat after Moshe. One opinion saying that they said all the song they said together. In this opinion telling us that it was a prophecy. All the Jewish people become prophets. Why? Because miracle. What is miracle? Miracle is revelation of God. Yes? There were once group of students came to the Rebbe, and they asked the Rebbe interesting questions. The Rebbe was having groups of students. They were not religious, and they had the nerves, they had the opportunity to ask everything. And they asked, one of them asking the Rebbe, your Hasidim, your followers, saying that you can do miracles. Is it true or not? So the Rebbe said, you can do miracles and I can do miracles. We both can do miracles. What is miracle? Miracle is that you're doing something above nature, more than nature. So if we are a little bit connected to something above nature, this is a miracle. The Rebbe explained it a little bit. In the end, the Rebbe told all the students, let's all of us do miracle. Everyone will take upon himself something that is above his nature. And then we all did a miracle. But the Jewish people in the water, singing this song in an amazing way, everybody together or everybody after Moshe, and they have this miracle. And this is the greatest prophecy that the Jewish people have together. And they're going out from the sea, and after that the sea starts throwing out all the things that the Egyptians took with them, and the Jewish people taking everything with them. There is a midrash that telling us that Moshe needed to stop the Jewish people from taking things from the sea. Our sage is telling us that in the sea they took more from what they took when they left Egypt from their neighbors. They took more in the sea. And what was the story about all the money that the Jewish people collected with them in the beginning? So according to Kabbalah, there is we all know that the Jewish people have exile and going from place to place. Now we have the longest exile. But the beginning of everything was in Egypt. Egypt was the first exile, the first time that all the Jewish people were slaves. And exile doesn't mean to be slave. Exile means that you're not living in Israel under the rule of Jewish king, with the Jewish temple, with freedom to do all the Torah and mitzvot. Today we're not doing all the Torah and mitzvot. We're doing third of Torah and mitzvot we're doing. So exile, it's exile. So Egypt was the first one and the most strongest one, not only in suffering, also in importance. Because what is the reason that Jewish people have exile? Most of the time that the Jewish people existed, they were in exile. Why? Because according to Kabbalah, all the purpose of exile is what we call in the language of Kabbalah birur hanitzotzot, to reveal the sparks. There is in all the world, there is sparks. There is godly spark in everything in the world. All the creation have a higher purpose, and we need to reveal it. How we reveal it? We are going there in exile. In the time of Egypt, most of the sparks, the work was done in Egypt, because that was the most important exile. So that's why they needed to collect all Egypt because they are something that become holy after they used it in a proper way. It become holy. This is the idea, according to Kabbalah, of all the things that they took out from Egypt. Why? Because there was a purpose. The purpose were to make the world better. And things that used to be bad, to kill people, to slavery, the Jewish people took it and used it in a better way, in a godly way. So this is the story of collecting. After crossing the sea, Jewish people coming to one place and there is no water there. And the water that they're finding is bitter water. So Moshe throwing a tree and the water becoming sweet. After that they're going to another place, and after that the bread is finished. And Jewish people now have a great reason to complain. There's no bread. And as we know, Jewish people need bread. So, God giving them the man. How you say man in English? Man, probably. Why we calling the man? What is the meaning of that name? Man meaning ma. Ma mean what? Jewish people looking at that thing and saying, what is that? And this is the name of man. We don't know what is it. So what was the story of the man? Jewish people every day in the morning with the, how you say, the wet that there is in the morning, every morning? You know what I'm talking about?
It's fog. Yeah, fog.
How?
No?
How you
Fog.
say? I don't...
Fog.
Fog.
Can you hear?
Ah, fog.
It's wet, you know,
Okay.
fog, yeah. Foggy, like everywhere.
I think there is better word, no?
I think fog is not right word.
Depends what you mean. Like in the
No,
air.
not on the grass.
Ah, on the grass. Okay.
What do you mean?
I mean, like dew. Maybe dew is the word.
No, because if we're talking, you know, we are talking about actually Negev, and there are no grass there. I wouldn't say.
No, not in the grass. It's on the floor, not on the floor.
On everything. On the morning there is the wet.
Ah, okay. I'm not sure. Because fog is normally in the morning, like, you know. so-
No, fog is cloudy. Yes?
Fog is in the air, but it's not
Yeah, in the air. Yeah.
No, wait, I'm not talking about in the air. In the morning you're looking on the cars. All the cars are wet. Yes? This is, I think, dew. Dew, this is the word, exactly.
Ah, the cream, okay. But in the desert, I'm not sure. Okay, but I thought it's very dry there and no, like.
No, of course there is dew. Actually, in the nights, in the desert it's cold. It's not warm.
Okay, well, I just have this impression because, you know, when you come from, let's say, when you drive 5 hours to Eilat, that it's really like very dry. Okay, then it's you, yeah.
So the dew.
Michi, you know this lemonade in US,
What?
America? Lemonade with the name you.
Yeah, I don't know the lemonade.
You don't know? Okay, so that's fine.
Sorry.
Remind me.
I will check it out.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the dew? What? The man came with the dew every morning. It was above the dew, and above the man was another time dew, like a sandwich.
Ah,
And they needed to take it from inside to collect it. And most of the commentaries explaining that it looked like flowers. the man, like a flower that they collected under above the dew, and the part that was above the man, the upper side of the sandwich was hard. It was not wet. It was more dry, that they will not make the man wet. And the Torah said that it was like honey. And when you cooked it, the taste was better. And there is one midrash that telling us that every person that wanted a taste, he tasted the taste that he wanted in the man. Okay, this is the man. Miracle every day, every day. And the Torah said clearly, it's not a midrash, that the righteous person going into the morning, open up his tent, taking his hand, going inside. Now the less righteous need to go to outside the camp of his tribe, and the less righteous need to go outside the old Jewish camp every morning to collect the man. Okay? After 4 hours from beginning of morning, when the sun is going up, all the man becoming water, and you have nothing to collect. Every day, a person that wanted to be smart, and I'm sure there were a lot of them, wanted to take twice. Why should I go tomorrow outside? Double. He's going inside his tent. You have the same amount. The same amount that they needed for today. Tomorrow you'll need to go back. There is no refrigerator. You have nothing to keep. The Jewish people living in Egypt with no snacks, no food inside the closet. The father cannot go in the night and to smuggle some man. There's nothing there. Only what you need, you got. Moshe telling the Jewish people specifically, don't try to take for 2 days. It will not work. On Friday, you need to take double, because in Shabbat, you're not going out to collect. From this, we're learning very important law of Shabbat. We're learning the few laws. There is a law of Tchum Shabbat. I don't know if you know about this law, because we're not using it today so much. There is a law that if a person wants to go outside the city to walk on Shabbat, how much he can go? So 2 kilometers, something like that. Yes, this is true. 1 kilometer. Sorry, 1 kilometer. 2,000 amot, it's 1 kilometer. Yes, very good. This is amma, half a meter. And 2,000 amma, it's 1 kilometer. And this is, we're learning from what Moshe telling the Jewish people about the man, that this is the old way that they can go to collect the man. Not more than that. I'm talking about outside the city. In the city you can go 3 days straight. If Shabbat were 3 days, you can go all the 3 days. You can go 24 hours on Shabbat inside the city. Doesn't matter how much kilometers you're walking. Outside the city, it's only 1 kilometer. Okay.
It was from the last house.
From the last house, very good. What is, according to Halacha, what is city? Now there is no place in Estonia. This is not a city. Every place connected to the city, close to, under the jurisdiction of the city. So according to Halacha, City means after the last house. And there is, of course, measurements. What do you mean last? What the closest and everything. It's all bunch of laws. But a person, by the way, I will mention something that connected to what we talked before. A person that went on Friday from Tallinn, he starts going to, I don't know, what city you can go in, you can walk to here, to Keilah. How long is it?
25 kilometers from 25 from the city center. And
25 from city center.
yeah, it's maybe actually it will be around 10 from the city.
10 hours?
No,
10 kilometers.
from the city.
Okay, not so long. But let's say the person starts going few hours before Shabbat and he thought that he can make it. And he didn't make it. He find himself in the middle of nowhere. There's no nowhere so much there. But let's say he's between two cities. In Shabbat, Shabbat starts. Where he can go? He need to stay in his place. Cannot move. First of all, I'll talk a little bit about the meaning of that law. The meaning of the law is that Shabbat means that you're staying on your community, with your family, with your place. Shabbat is not travel time. Shabbat is time to connect. Try to connect to your family. Try to connect to your community. Try to think. Don't travel. Stay in one place. It's time of stability. It's the stability time of the week. During the week, we need to conquer. We need to go to new places, do more new adventures, to create, to build. Shabbat, do not work. This is we all know. Not only that, do not explore. Try to connect to the places, to the base. This is the logic of the law, not to go to a new city. So it's the same thing. If you find yourself between two cities, stay here. Stay here. Don't move. How much you can move? Do not move the legs. So there is measurement. 2 meters. 2 meters, according to halacha, not only concerning the laws of Shabbat, this law, also concerning to all different laws, 2 meters are my space, personal space. Every 2 meters we see it in Corona time. 2 meters is 2 meters. If you in the 2 meters of the other one, you are in his place, because 2 meters, this is personal space. I will say just example. Concerning the laws of get. What is get? You know what is get? Divorce. Divorce, according to Jewish law, there is the paper, and the husband need to give it to the wife, to her. And if she's standing like that, doesn't want to get it, and he throw it to her. So if it fell outside her 2 meters, she didn't get the divorce. If it fell inside her personal space, it's her. It's like it fell in her house, because every 2 meters are personal space of a human being. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. Why 2 meters? Why 2 meters? What is 2 meters? I saw that there is places On Poland, I was in the airport in Poland now, and there they're not saying 2 meters, they're saying 1.5 meters between every person. Corona law is not 2 meters, it's 1.5. So what is the story of 2 meters? 2 meters, our sages tell us that a person can lie down and take his hands up. To lie down, our sages tell us it's 3 meters, 3 amma, 1.5 meters. And to take your hands up, it's another half. So it's 2 meters. Why we need to lie down and take our hands up? So there is a deeper explanation here. To lie down. A person, his space, he can be standing, he can be lying down. It's this we understand. Why to lie down? For example, the person that stands between cities in Shabbat, he will need to lie down to sleep. So I understand why a personal space is also to lie down. But why this guy will take his hands up when he's lying down? This is connected a little bit to what we said before. What is miracles? What is miracles? Miracles is something unnatural. Unnatural. What does unnatural means? Unnatural means that there is the things that I understand. There is the thing that I'm comfortable with. Everything is logic, it's good. There is things that it's out of me, it's above me. I cannot understand, it's not logical, it's something more. And by the way, what is the meaning of miracles? What is the purpose of miracles? God doing miracles to remind people that He is there, that there is Creator. There is the person that did this nature, and He can undo the nature and do something else. A person cannot be only 3 amma. 3 amma is not enough. 3 amma means nature. A person, when we calculating person, we cannot take only 3 amma. We need to take 4 amma. Why? Because a person, his space, is also something above. To be only head, body, legs, 3 amma, it's good. But it's not enough. Because sometimes you need to be more than that. The Rebbe, how the Rebbe said to the students, we can all do miracles. There is people that can do, because they are always above nature in the most powerful way, they can do miracles like that. But people like us, from time to time at least, need to do one miracle. To do something that is above nature, above their nature. Only to be complete 3 amma, it's good. But sometimes God doing miracles, because always we need to remember there is something more. There is something more. We are connected to something more. This is miracles, and this is about the personal space of Shabbat. You understand the point? Yes, the point is understandable. What else we find in our parasha? After the man, that we need to remember, the Jewish people live with the man for 40 years. Amazing. Actually, in the Kodesh HaKodashim, Holy of Holies in the temple, what was in the Holy of Holies in the temple, in Jerusalem and also in the desert, in all the places, of course we had the ark with the 2 tablets, And we had another few things. We had the stick of Aharon. Why? Because it was a very amazing miracle that happened with the stick of Aharon. We can learn about it after. And the jar of man. How you say? Jar. I don't know. Yes, jar of man.
Jar, yeah, it is.
Yes.
You're right, jar.
Yes. To remember the miracle. So amazing miracle, man. The CIA checked everything.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, very good. At least we now know there is something above that keeping us safe. The clouds.
Clothes, yes.
Okay. Okay. This the story of the man. There is people. There is a very big custom to say the chapter of the Torah, the talking about the man, to say it every day. And it's very famous this custom. Why? What's so special about this story, about this chapter? Because that story telling us about the life of the Jewish people in the desert. In some level, it was the perfect life of the Jewish people. Why? They waking up in the morning, taking their food, going back. They have nothing to worry about.
They're just praying?
Just praying and learning. It was 40 years of training, to understand. They were Egyptians. They needed to change everything. So like God gave them 40 years of practicing before you entering the promised land. So what they did, they learned Torah from the biggest master, from Moshe Rabbeinu, teaching them and practicing. They had no worries, only to learn and to, And why there is a custom to say it every day, this chapter? Because when Jewish people in the desert going to sleep at night, they not worry what happened tomorrow. Why? Because what do you mean? God will give us, like yesterday, like 2 days ago, we will open the tent and we will see the man. What are you asking what will be? This what will be? But you're asking him, you're crazy. Why do you think that tomorrow morning will grow some strange food and you will eat it and it will be enough? You say, what do you mean? Because God told me and I know it will be. This is how every Jew need to look on his parnasa, on his wealth and health and everything that he needs. He needs to close his eyes in the night and tell himself, tomorrow God will give me everything like he gave me yesterday, like he gave me 10 and maybe better, maybe easier. This is why a lot of Jews saying this chapter. Chaim, I'm not sure if this is the chapter that you talked about? Okay, Chaim will tell us after. Yeah, this is very famous and about trusting God. It's not about believing. There is belief and there is trust. Trust, that means that you trust. You not only believe that He is there and everything. You're trusting. You're going to sleep because I'm trusting on God that He will give me everything. And this is what was so special about the life there, and this is what's special to say about this chapter, to say this chapter every day. Okay. After that, the Jewish people continuing going into another place that I don't remember, and then came the war, Amalek. You know, heard Amalek? Heard about Amalek? Amalek is the nation, the first nation that tried to do something to the Jewish nation after the Egyptians. And the Midrash telling us, beautiful metaphor, what is the problem that the Jewish people have with Amalek? Why we not forgiving them until today? Because the Jewish people were like a boiled bath. A boiled bath. Everybody knew they were sacred. You cannot touch them. Like a boiled bath. No one wants to enter. And then, if there is a boiled bath, what you can do? You tipping your leg, because it's too hot. You will not start with the head. You're tipping your leg. Why? Because the leg is with less warmth. It's less important. There is almost no feeling in the back of the leg. So the less life you're putting inside. And after the leg, all the body can go inside. So the Amalek was the leg. They jumped inside, and after that it was an opening that everybody feel free to start with the Jewish people. According to Kabbalah and Hasidut, Amalek is the most bad thing that there is. Why? Because Amalek, there is in Yiddish a word, Amol. Amol means it happened a long time ago. Amol, ich hab gegangen, once I went, it's long time ago. And Amalek in Yiddish way, it's Amalek means Amalek telling you it's all true, but it happened long time ago. Meaning, Amalek means the doubt, the coldness. Amalek don't tell you, no, it's not true. Amalek tell you it's all true, but you know, if we think about it, Amalek give you the cold inside, the cold, the doubt, the explanation. Jewish people who was very, very warm. They were like a boiled bath. They all believed in the most powerful way. Came Amalek, told them, you think you're so boiled, no one can touch you. If we will put inside a little bit doubt, a little bit ideas, everybody can touch you. And that's why we hate them. Because we want the warmth, we want the life inside Torah, the life in the belief. And it's hard. It's hard because the world is with a lot of doubts. And we need to remember it. The Torah telling us, remember Amalek. Remember them. Because doubts, it's something that you need to fight. We're not fighting doubts with forgetting them. The Torah telling, remember the doubts. Figure it out. Make strength your belief. Learn about it. Put yourself in it, that the warmth will come back. That the cold will not take you. This is the spiritual war with Amalek. Amalek is the cold, is the doubt, and we want to remember them, and by remembering we will take care about the. I see that Alan went again. We need to remember them, the Amalek, and to fight, because warmth in Torah, in mitzvot, is very, very important. Warmth in Torah, it's something very strong that we need to keep, and this is why we don't like Amalek. And this is also connected to the miracles. This is the same purpose of miracles. Miracles giving us, what miracles giving us? Miracles giving us, wow, amazing, beautiful. God revealed himself in this powerful way. But if you will not think about it, you not learn from it, it will fade. Why? Because Amalek also can intervene and telling you, you know, it's true, war Kriyat Yam Suf, but it was a long time ago. Or you know, there is science saying that it can be Kriyat Yam Suf, it can be a natural thing. You know that science discovered a way that it can be. They not understand that the Torah said that it was natural. The wind came and split the sea. The wind split the sea, of course. But it split the sea when we needed it to split the sea. This is the miracle. That it came on time. Okay, this is the idea. Let's review again everything that we had, that we will go out with something. First of all, Rashi. We talked about Rashi. Rashi saying it looked like ordinary commentary on the Torah. The Torah saying Vayitzaku, they were screaming to God. Rashi explaining that they did like their fathers, they prayed, and he giving an example. And the Rabbi explaining, no, Rashi not only explaining that. Rashi have a question. Why they pray? God promised you will have miracles. You see the Egyptians. What do you want? What do you want from God? So Rashi explaining, they did the profession of their fathers. Jewish people can pray not only when they need something, they want something from God, they want to say thank you. No, they pray because they feel like it. This is what their father did. This is what they did. They did not want something new. And this is the examples that Rashi bringing of their fathers praying on occasions, some random occasions. After that, we talked a little bit about miracles. We said the idea from the Rebbe that miracle is something above nature. It's not, that's why every Jew can do miracle. It's something above nature. And this is what the Jewish people had in Kriyat Yam Suf. And this is also a little bit connected to Shabbat, Tchum Shabbat. Tchum, in Hebrew it's called Tchum. Tchum is the limitation of Shabbat. You cannot go outside the city more than kilometer, because Shabbat is about living your life, thinking about your life, rethink everything, rethink creation, rethink Judaism, rethink family, rethink everything. If you're finding yourself between two cities, you have 2 meters. Actually, it's 2 meters to each side. So it's 4 meters. Why? Sorry. Why 4 amma? 4 amma is 2 meters. Why 4 amma? Because 3 amma is the body of a human being. 4th amma, it's the hands will go up. Why would a human being need to take up his hands? Because to be complete, to be natural, complete, it's perfect. but we don't looking for perfection. We're looking for something more than perfection. Jewish people are perfect, this is true. But to be perfect is nature. We need miracles. We need to be above perfection. We want godly perfection. That's why we need our hands to be up. We want to be connected to something above our heads, above understanding, above nature. This is our power. Our power is not with perfection, to be the perfect in your job. It's good, and this is what we need to aim. But we also have something more than that. We also have something more godly, unnatural. This is miracle. This is the story of the man. The man, we talked about the trust that God, man giving every Jew. That's why a lot of it's a Jewish custom to say it every day, because we're remembering that the same in Egypt, a Jew closes his eyes and he's 100% sure that he will tomorrow have food. The same thing every Jew need. The trust that every Jew need to have on God is the same trust. I think we covered the basis. L'chaim, thank you very much.
L'chaim, l'chaim.